What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Colas here, and today we are actually going to Oklahoma style barbecue here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We just touched down, so we're gonna go ahead and get something to eat because we both are super hungry. And the reviewer here, she's holding the camera to wait for me to finish talking, but she really needs to use the bathroom too. So
wow.
So I'm just gonna hurry up and
yeah, please do.
and say what I got to say. But yeah, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna come back and get the food, and then we're gonna let you know how it is.
All right.
What's going on, y'all? So I'm back and I got my food here from Oklahoma style barbecue. So I got here, just so you can see, I'm gonna move the bread. I got some sliced beef, so it's like brisket. I have some chicken, and then I have a little bit of hot barbecue sauce to kind of go with my food. I got some greens, so these are turnip greens and macaroni and cheese. Right now I'm very hungry, so I'm really excited to kind of get into it and see what it's like, and I can let y'all know what I think.
All right.
I'm gonna start with the chicken.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have it by itself first, and then I'm gonna have it with the sauce and tell you what I think. Ooh, it's flavorful, but it's dry.
Yeah.
I was warned. But a lot of options were pork, and I was trying to stay away from it. It's flavorful, but it is dry.
Okay.
It is for sure dry. But it's good as far as like the taste. It's smoky, so I like that. Let me taste the chicken with the barbecue sauce. Oh shit!
It was falling. Uh oh.
Dang. Uh oh. It needed that. Much better.
Better with that.
Much better.
Gotcha. Okay.
Took it up at least 2 notches. Let me try the brisket now.
Okay.
This is what the brisket looks like. Y'all can see the inside.
No, it's good.
Yep. I'm gonna take a bite. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
One part of it is dry, but the part that like is kind of going towards the fat is pretty juicy.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a mixture. Let me try it with the barbecue sauce though. I just think I just like this barbecue sauce, because the barbecue sauce made both of these things a lot better than what it was, in my opinion. Because it's like, the brisket is good, but this part right here is a little dry to me. This part right here is a little dry. This part's pretty good.
Okay.
Like where the fat is at. Where the fat is at is pretty juicy. Then the other part right here is kind of dry.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish this off though, because this hot sauce, or hot barbecue sauce, whatever this is really good. Oh yeah, really, really good. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try the green, and I'm gonna let you know what I think by itself first.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's flavorful. It's not salty. It's not too much. It has some meat in it, and that tastes pretty good. So yeah, I'm impressed with the way that this tastes. This is very good.
Okay. Mac and cheese.
I'm trying the mac and cheese just to get a little look at that. It looks really creamy.
It does. It does look creamy.
So we'll see what it tastes like though. It's okay.
Yeah.
For me, like, I like a cheese pool usually with my macaroni. And this one is a little bit more creamy, so it's all right. I mean, it's not anything special, but it's not terrible.
Okay.
No, it's all right.
All right.
Hi y'all, this is the Reeviewer, aka Mrs. TJ. So I ended up getting I think it was a potato.
Yep.
Like a loaded potato.
That's right.
Originally I got it with chicken and green beans, but I found out that the green beans had onions in it, and y'all know how I feel about onions. So I ended up getting chicken and beef. They like remade it and stuff like that. So this is how it looks.
I hope they can hear you, baby.
Oh.
Hope they can hear you. You were talking a little low.
Oh, I'll repeat that. So, I had originally got the loaded potato with the chicken and green beans. But the green beans had onions in it, so I was like, I ain't trying to do all that. That's too much. But now I got chicken and beef with it. So this is kind of how it looks. It also is like, it's seasoned, and it has, I think, barbecue sauce and ranch. No, you know what? I think I had the barbecue sauce on the side, I believe it was. So I have my little barbecue sauce right here as well. So this is kind of how it looks. So let me over here making a mess. So let's go ahead and get into it. It looks good. Oh, I think it has some cheese in here too.
Let's take a look at that cheese.
Same, a little bit of cheese.
Nice.
Trying to get a little bit of potato in there as well. Pretty good.
So what flavors you getting?
So I had a little bit of the beef, and a little bit of potato. It's pretty good. I kind of want to see how it tastes with the sauce. So let me see. The sauce definitely makes it taste a lot better.
I swear it does.
Like a lot better. All right, let's try it. I just want to try a little bit of the chicken. The chicken by itself is a little dry. It had some seasoning, but it was a little. But with the ranch and stuff like that, it definitely helps it taste better, I feel. Let me try it with the barbecue sauce. It tastes better with the barbecue sauce.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna try it with a little bit of the chicken and a little bit of the beef. Yeah. I think the sauce definitely helps with it. So I would definitely recommend it. Like if you're gonna have like a sauce and stuff like that, I think that makes it taste a lot better, in my opinion. And then definitely get like your sauce and stuff like that as well. I had the barbecue sauce on the side, but yeah. So so far it's tasting pretty good.
All right. What's going on, y'all? So we are back since we've had a chance to go and try Oklahoma style barbecue. So I wanted to kind of give my final impressions now that I told you all what I first thought about the meal that I had. So just to review, the meal that I had was I had like a combo plate, and the combo plate included chicken, and then it included brisket. And then I also got 2 sides with it as well too. So I got some greens, and I believe they were turnip greens. And then I got macaroni and cheese. So I'll give it to her. Initially, the person who took my order, the young lady who took my order, she did inform me that she wasn't really a fan of the chicken. Now, I try to stay away from pork. Like, pork is not something that I really eat. So I only got the chicken because all the other options were either different variations of getting the same type of beef or it was chicken. So I said, okay, well, at least she let me know. And then she also did say too that, she has to put it in barbecue sauce for it to have the flavor that she wanted. That is my disclaimer right now before I say everything I'm about to say.
Right.
I tried the food, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed because I thought the food was, like Kevin Samuels would say, average at best. The food was average at best. It just was. Because let's break this down real quick. The chicken was dry. So if you're asking me now, Colas, what rating are you going to give it? I'm going to give it a D for dry. I'm just being totally honest with you. That chicken was I would give it D tier, like maybe high D tier for dry. It was high and dry. So yeah, D tier, high D tier. The brisket was probably C tier, and the reason why I'm going to give it C tier is because the brisket was dry too. It just was. It was, when I had brisket, I wanted to like feel moist. I hate that word, but it really was needed. It was a lot of moisture that's needed. So I think I need to say it a couple times. Moist. Hopefully it'll permeate to the rest of the brisket, because it didn't permeate to my plate. Anyway, so as I was saying though, so this brisket, y'all, was dry as hell. And the thing that disappointed me, and the reason why I'm giving it a C, is because it did have some flavor. And it did have some like fatty parts that were okay. And the burnt ends weren't bad. But the rest of that brisket was dry. And that just wasn't what's up. The bad thing about it though, like I said, was that the person who took our order said that was her favorite thing. If that was the best thing on the menu, what is everything else like? That was kind of my concern there, because I had seen the chicken and it wasn't as good as the brisket already, and the brisket already was a struggle. Because that bad boy was not moist at all. I'm gonna say it was C tier only on the grounds that it was flavorful, but as far as biting into it, it was like I felt like I needed to just throw a whole bunch of water on that bad boy. Like it was bad. It was drier than the Mojave Desert. Like that shit was so damn dry. So I'm gonna say C tier for that. The greens were actually all right. I'm gonna give it to them. The greens were straight. They were seasoned nicely. I would have added probably a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, but it wasn't anything that just threw me off where I was like, oh wow, like I wish they would have gave me something extra here. Like I thought it was straight. Okay. So I probably would say B tier. I'm gonna say B tier for the greens because they were okay.
Okay.
The macaroni and cheese was not my favorite. It was watery to me, a little watery. It was not well seasoned. It needed salt. It needed pepper. Now the noodles were cooked okay, and that was straight, and it needed a little bit more cheesiness. So outside of the noodles being cooked okay, and outside of it not being the worst thing that I've ever had, I'm going to give it low C tier. It was a mediocre thing of macaroni. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I just was not impressed with it. Really, overall, my meal that I got was again very, very, very average. And it was very average because a lot of the food was dry and some of it wasn't really seasoned. Now there are parts that were good that kind of stood out, like the greens, but the rest of it was just like kind of just there. Now as far as I want to tell you all this, so with the reviewer, she had a potato order that she did, and they didn't mess it up, but she just didn't know that onions were in it because she got green beans as a meat. I know that sounds silly as hell, but they basically said like if you get green beans, that counts as a meat. Right. She got green beans and she got chicken as her meats for this potato that she got because she got this loaded potato. And I'll say this. I did get to try that because they made her another one because their thing was, well, we can't do nothing with that old potato, so, do what you do with it. So I said, well, I'll eat it because I like onions and I don't mind green beans. I mean, it sounds kind of weird with the potato, but maybe it's good because there was like some lady who was in there. Yeah, she basically...
She recommended it.
Yeah, she recommended because she said that like one of her kids, like they'll tear that up every single time. And I'll admit, that was actually kind of decent. I actually didn't mind that potato when I first ate it. Like, I felt like the green beans were seasoned all right. The green beans, if I had to tier it, just looking at it, I probably would give it probably B tier, like the greens. Maybe a little bit more salt probably would have helped it, but outside of that, it was good. The chicken was dry still, but at least it had barbecue sauce and cheese and all these other things to kind of compensate. Ranch, they're trying to compensate all these other things in there. And then when I added more spicy barbecue, I mean, to me, it was straight. So in the potato piece of part of it, I probably would give it maybe like high C tier. I mean, like it was very basic. It had a little watery texture to me too, but it wasn't terrible. Like it wasn't seasoned terribly or whatever. I did need to put a little bit of extra something on it, but outside of that, it wasn't bad enough for it to be D or E tier. Overall though, the potato, if I had to like rank it, I probably would give it a low B because the green beans kind of just made it just taste a lot better than I thought it would. And I mean, they kind of already set the bar with this other meal. So I'm comparing them to, and I'm like, this potato is better. So as far as like service and all that, if I had to rank it, I probably, out of 5, the customer service, I probably would give them probably about a 4.5 out of 5. The person who helped us, she was cool. I mean, it wasn't over the top, but I mean, she was cool. So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. Well, like I said before, I had the loaded potato. Originally, I had got it with the green beans, like Colas said, and the chicken. But then I found out that it had onions in it. And I know I do not do onions. So I went back up there and I'm just like, hey, I didn't know onions was in here. And she kind of looked at me like, onions shouldn't be in there. And I said, yeah, there's onions in there. She said, oh, and the green beans. And I was like, oh, well, can I like get something else? So I ended up getting the chicken with the beef. So they like remade that and everything like that for me. And like Colas did say, she did kind of warn us about the chicken and how it wasn't really her favorite and stuff like that, and how it needs like a sauce type thing on it. So she did give us that warning, which I do appreciate. She said in the potato, like it tastes better because of like the sauce that's in there. So when it came out, it had cheese. It had ranch, barbecue, and I think she said I had barbecue sauce on the side. I had like not the hot one. I think it was like a sweeter barbecue sauce that I had like on the side. You can kind of dip it, and I kind of poured it on there. I feel like with the sauce was really, really good, and the sauce definitely added to the chicken, because when I first originally had the chicken, it was a little dry. And I'm like, all right. So then when I added the sauce to it, it definitely brought it back to life a lot. And I felt the same way with the beef too. I kind of felt like that needed that sauce as well. The potato, I felt like it should have had a little bit more seasoning, in my opinion. And it was a little watery. So I honestly feel like for potatoes, like I like a little bit more seasoning on my potato. That's just kind of my preference. But for me, I would say if I'm rating like the different things, the chicken, I would probably give it like a 6. And probably the beef probably about a 6 as well. Because of the fact that it was kind of dry and needed that extra to it. Once the sauce got added to it, I felt like it was a lot better. Like it did bring it back, where it needed to be. So if I had to like really rate like the whole meal itself for that, I would probably give it like a 7.5 is what I'm thinking. Because I feel like with the sauce, it really added it to it. And it really helped it. But I felt like I had to keep pouring the barbecue sauce, and it had ranch already in there, but I had to keep pouring it on there because of the fact that it was dry. So I feel like with the sauce, they really do rely on their sauce, and their sauce is really good. So I will say that their sauce is really good, but I felt like without that sauce, it just wasn't as good as I really wanted it to be. So I really had to keep doing that, because I had to keep adding stuff to it. And even afterwards, when I had leftovers, I had to like add stuff to it. Like I had to add more seasoning and different things to it as well, because they give you a lot. The portion was good. The portions were really good. But like if you don't have that sauce with you, like, you're gonna have to add extra stuff to it. Like, and even with the seasoning, I'm like, oh, I wish it had more seasoning. So I feel like I had to keep adding to it, and that's the reason why I had to give it the rating that I did. The service, I mean, she was helpful. The lady that was in there, she told me about the green beans, like that was helpful too. So I'll probably give it about a 4.5 too. I feel like it was just pretty cool. Like, the guy just remade it again. There wasn't like an attitude behind it or anything like that. They were very cool and whatnot. But yeah, that'll probably be like my overall like rating of like the customer service and different things like that. So but yeah,
for the overall rating, what would you give them out of 5?
My overall, I would say I'd probably give them maybe about a 4.
Okay.
Just because of like, if I'm adding in like the food and stuff like that too. The service definitely did like help as when they were helpful, but I'll probably give it about a 4. That's what I'm thinking. What about you?
Gotcha. I think, considering all factors, considering that it was the first meal once we got to Tulsa, Oklahoma, considering how hungry we were because we had not eaten really the whole day because we were on flights and all this other stuff, considering all those factors, I'm going to give it about a 3.5. I'm going to give it about a 3.5 because the food took it down for me quite a bit. I mean, when I go to a restaurant, that's what I'm going for. Yeah, the customer service, that does help. And they were cool. So I'm not taking that away from them. They were definitely cool. But as far as like the food that I had, it definitely was a disappointment because I was expecting to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma and have some barbecue. And I'm not trying to rate it off a disappointment either. I'm just going based off of how I felt the food was. I felt the food was average at best. In some places it was even a little mediocre. So for me, Oklahoma style barbecue, you get a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, all right.
And it made my stomach hurt at some point. Man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, my stomach did kind of hurt a little bit afterwards.
Yeah.
I did kind of, so yeah. So I will kind of add that in there too. I do agree with you at that. Like, I kind of feel like at a certain point I was like, okay, I need to eat something else, drink some water or something.
That food needs some holy water. I ain't gonna lie.
So, wow. But yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much our review of it. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos from TJ Foodies. So, but all right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good day.
All right. See y'all later. Peace.
Bye.